Hello guys, welcome back to another lovely trading video. In this one we're going to be doing some in-depth stock analysis on jd.com, ticker JD. Now one thing though to take into account when trading JD is that it is a Chinese company, so you always got that added risk of unknown regulations and just whatever the Chinese government feel like doing, and that's why we have seen stocks like JD and Alibaba and other Chinese related stocks tend to have a rough year. So that is one thing to take into account if you're looking to trade them more on a longer term basis, but if you're looking for short swings or day trades, that shouldn't matter too much. Now getting straight into it, we are looking, or we will go into a clean daily chart, see is there any gaps that need to be filled, and we can see off the bat around $84.40 there is a gap. We have recently filled the gap at 65, and really apart from that, $62 would count as a gap, but not something we like the look of because it's not a very obvious gap. So apart from really the $84.40, we're not really looking for any gaps. So now we'll go on to the standard deviation chart, so we can start seeing low risk buys and all of that. I do think this was posted in the Discord yesterday because it did come into the our alert. As you can see, it did come close to the first deviation and has already came into the second deviation on the 4 hour. So if we're looking for buy zones, we would be waiting for it to continue that bit further down. So 63.50 and 62.40 would kind of be our key buy zones. Reason we're not looking and haven't bought a JD above, for example, at $67, even though that was the second deviation, would have been most likely a profitable trade. It didn't give us much potential upside. If we bought at $67/$68, our first target or main target was at $72 because that is statistical mean, and we have seen JD come into statistical mean or near enough to that $72. So when we see that, we have kind of considered the move to finish because we don't look to trade past statistical mean. The reason for that is we are always waiting for stocks to return to their statistical mean. So when a stock's out there, it's a bit more of a gamble whether it will go up or down. In JD's case, we would expect it more to continue up just because it's still got to reach statistical mean on the 4 hour. But it's not something we would look to buy anymore just because it's at much more added risk. So if JD does continue down to that 63.40 or kind of 63 or 62 to kind of $63, that is where we would begin to look to get long JD. And again, if it continues even further down, then $55 and $45 would be those next buy zones. Now where would our profit targets be? Again, where we kind of reached today would be our key target at $72. The reason for that is, again, it is statistical mean. We don't look to hold past there because it turns into a lot more of a gamble past that level. But if you are looking to hold past, then at $73.50, then we are coming into the first deviation. We would expect some sort of a pullback coming into this level. But our absolute final target would be $79 because that is the statistical mean on the 4 hour. Now if JD does continue up, where would we start looking then more for kind of short buy zones? And for these, we will quickly clean this just to make it a bit clearer where we're looking to start being short buyers. From $81 is kind of where we'd be short bias, but the thing to take into account is obviously at $81 we are then coming into that first deviation to the upside. We would expect it to pull back, but we can see the statistical mean on the 4 hour is very close at $79, so that's why we wouldn't actually short that $81 level because our risk to reward on it would just be very poor. So instead we would be looking for deviations past here, so the $84 would be alright, the $89, $90, $95, $98, 101 and a final 107 are all considered our short bias levels. Again, these are levels we would look more to short, but if you are long, maybe more of an investment long or a very long term swing, these are also levels where we expect selling pressure to come in, so you can also use them as price targets or upside price targets. So I hope you enjoyed the breakdown on JD. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like and subscribe. Hope to see you in the next one, and that's it. Peace.